play really aggressive. Go for the smarter bans.
Your team is banning.
It's just gonna be the standard Grok ban, the Harith ban as well. They need to ban out Claude here, Finesse Solid. They don't want to give Zapnu any more aggressive carries that they need. They do ban out Lemerd,
Your team
which means
is
Execration
banning.
has to ban out Claude unless they want Finesse Solid to take it. They might even go for a Kaja ban here to just disable Lexus' ability to go for
Your
team plays here,
team
but
is picking.
Kaja is open. Claude has been banned. They might just pick up Kaja here.
Yeah, I'd expect Kaja to be what Finesse Solid goes for. It did work out very well for them, but
Your
that
team
is not
is picking.
The case. It's gonna be Alice instead. Opens up Kaja here for Execration to take, and he's okay. It's
Your
a
team
Cho
is
and a Kaja pick. Immediately CCs, single target CCs, so to speak. Finesse only can easily remedy this with a Lolita, which they can pick, but they're going for the Mercy Mages first. So we got Gushin and we got
Your
Thomas
team
being
is
picked up,
picking.
which opens up a Kai or Lolita for Execration. Of course, that Cho needs to be in a combo, so to speak. They opting to go for Harley. Go for a bit more burst.
You're scratching your head here. These things are sort of odd for you.
Not really odd, but they're just going against, we need this combo to work well. Instead, they're just going all in with their picks, which is not uncharacteristic, but we haven't seen that happen in a while. So that Kagura and that Harley pickup will be the
Your
primary
team
damage dealers
is
for
picking.
Execration. And Finesse Solid, they need to remedy that. There you go, the Lolita and the Kai completely denying
Your
the combo
team
that
is
Cho
picking.
thrives in. I mean, Akai and Lolita, they have their disables that will allow Cho to just dive Shunpo and wave the dragon somebody towards their back lines, and that's completely denied here. So it's just gonna rely solely on that Kaja to get the decisive plays, so to speak.
Yeah, so is this the counter strategy that Finesse Solid has ready for what Execution has in store for them in this third game? Will this counter finally be what works for them? But Hellcurt, another last pick Hellcurt from the side of Execration. And have you seen Hellcurt win a game today?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So there's a 0% win rate on that Hellcurt, but things might be different because I'm liking Finesse Solid's lineup here, but they have to go to the mid game. They have to go to the late game as well, because their primary damage dealers here is going to be Gushin and Thamas. Everyone else is just going to be a playmaker for Finesse Solid. Execration on the flip side, they can, just like what I said during BREN eSports this game, they scale really well from the early game to the mid to the late game. So it's going to be a tall order for Finesse Solid, but it's still a doable. It's still a doable order for them. They just have to make sure that their setups are going to be on point, because that is what Execration is lacking. They're lacking the proper setups.
Yeah, and for Execration, I feel like you did say, since Finesse Solid needs to go for mid and late game, Execration has to attack the early game because that's where Finesse Solid is weaker. They need to scale up, so that's where Execration can just jump at them while they're still at their weakest and then secure enough advantages so that they don't allow Finesse Solid to get to the point where they get their spikes.
Yeah, and what I'm looking here as well is that Finesse Solid actually has more dive potential, so we might see an early level 3 dive under the turret, because these are just tanky heroes without shadow of a doubt. And with the fact that they are also playmakers, they can just completely CC anybody out of the game. Just just like what we say, once you get CC'd by that Lolita, by that Akai, you're just gonna have to drop your phone and just forget about playing for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, just forget. But
Smash
looks
them.
like we'll be heading straight into the
All
game here. Of course, the
troops
deciding
deployed.
game between Finesse Solid and Execration. Who gets to go out on top? This is game 3.
Yeah, it is game 3, and this is do or die for both of these teams. At least they will be getting points, regardless of their win or lose. But of course, 2 points is better than 1 point. That's something that both of these guys need.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd rather take 2 over 1 any day.
And ooh, Zapnu is not farming.
He's hiding.
He's hiding. He doesn't want to get taken out quite easily.
That's what Hellcurt does early, you know, when he's not in a position where he can farm safely under turret, you know. He's just gonna hide.
He's also
Launch
really
attack!
relatively weak before he reaches level 4 because he does not have a way to escape, because most of the time we'll see Poison Singers being picked up by Hellcurt in the early game before he gets his blink. But as I say that, there was an attempt on the gank there over the top lane, but instead Finesse Solid is going to go for the crab.
Okay, so you did mention something about a level 3 dive happening from Finesse Solid since they have a lot of playmakers on their side. They seem to want to set up around that, but you know, if Execration aren't sitting under their towers, there's nobody to dive.
Exactly. Their Execration is playing it safe, just diving in, just weaving in and out of the fights. Whoa, hold that thought though. Jeff Cutie Forever gets caught out there, and look at the damage that Carl did to Lord. That's one piece of the diving capability that I'm saying. And all that matters, all that's left is that Finesse Solid dives in as a team.
Turtle
But
resurrecting
Dian knocking up
soon.
Levy tries to delay the inevitable, because this is heavy presence here by Finesse Solid here over the top lane. We do see a rotation coming in from Execration. That's the entire team rotating towards the top lane.
And Zapdos hiding again.
Waiting for a face check, and he doesn't want to face check that Panda. Really don't want to face check that. But while that's happening, Alice is freely farming in the bottom lane, allowing her to get more HP. But this turtle is going to be in contention. Execration will be securing that. Finesse Solid not following through with an engagement, really. Just playing it safe, but Pakbet looking like he's going to be the meal for the day. He's going to be the first blood here for the side of Finesse Solid. And the rest of Execration, they're just going to fall back. The Numenon Blast does not connect to anybody important, but that's a double kill for Finesse Solid nonetheless.
Yeah, there goes the playmaking of Finesse Solid. They pick up 2 kills onto their side. Execration not able to trade anyone back, and you know, they're still waiting for the Hellcurt to get it because to actually start a fight. But we were talking about how Execration need to attack the early game, and right now Finesse Solid has control over the
Initiate
early game.
retreat.
They do have control over the early game. They finally secured the turret not 4 minutes into the game. Zapnu's still looking for an opportunity to go for the split farm. For the split push, I mean. But the turtle is going to be spawning in the bottom lane. And the Execration already has a presence there. So why the game plan here is to push out the bottom turret, open up the jungle, wait for Finesse Solid to funnel in and try to get a steal or try to just catch Finesse Solid off guard.
And now Panda's just watching. Is this a bait?
I think he's baiting out that, hey, I'm AFK. No, not anymore.
Maybe he dropped his phone. Who knows?
Maybe. But this is going to be a rotation from Finesse Solid. It's drawing out Execration as well near the turtle, and we do have a couple of seconds before the turtle spawns. And immediately just going left and right. Dian trying to look for kills here. The Dark Knight Falls actually being popped for some reason. But this middle turret is going to be down.
Unless Finesse Solid has something to say about it, looks like they have.
Oh man, Zapnu is gonna get hit by that Numenon Blast. No, he actually makes it out by the skin of his teeth, but he finally gets taken out by Finesse Levy. And that's gonna be a counter kill onto the side of Execration as well. But this is an engagement that Execration does not need at all. Finesse Solid coming out on top of that initiate in the mid lane.
Yeah, Execration seem to be forcing the issue right there just as the turtle has spawned. With 2 of their members going down, that will mean Finesse Solid can take down this free objective onto their side. They also pick up a few kills at the back of that. So let's see, gold is in favor of Finesse Solid. At least Execration gets something back by taking out the 1 tower.
Yeah, and let's not forget, this is what Finesse Solid did during game number 2 as well. So there's still a chance for Execration to bounce back here, just because of the fact that Hellcurt, Harley, and Kagura, they have a lot of burst damage. But that's like what we said during the draft, the only problem is that they don't have that much initiation. It's only Finesse Solid that has all the main initiators in this game.
Yeah, the initiation's only coming out from Lard actually, whoever he pulls in, or from Dian, whoever he decides to jump onto. But we haven't seen that setup yet, you know. The damage is there, it's just who gets to lock down the targets for that damage to be dropped down onto, you know. the team fight initiation just seems to be easier to set up for Finesse Solid, and that's why they've been coming out on top during these previous skirmishes.
Yeah, Dark Knight Falls actually being popped here, and it's gonna catch Boo off guard. That's an easy kill for Execration. I think that is what Execration's strength lies, is being able to catch somebody off guard, dwindle down the numbers of Finesse Solid. That's, I think, is the win condition that they need here. Aside from securing objectives with that Hellcurt as well.
Yeah, and I'd say that was a very easy kill over to the side of Execration. Basically, Execration target face checking straight into you, but
oh, Zapnu does not have the Dark Knight Falls, but Carl does not have enough burst there, and the rotation here for Execration is real to try to prevent Hellcurt from falling down quite easily.
okay, so Hellcurt will be protected there by his teammates. Finesse Solid not gonna go for any attempts to catch a member of Execration through that rotation. These teams are just basically fighting for position here. None of them are really pressuring a certain tower or objective on the map. Just
Lord resurrecting
trying
soon.
to get the positioning here, especially that the Lord is already spotting. It is already on the map. Let's see though.
And Finesse Solid is already creating a wall towards the Lord. Nobody's gonna pass. If you're gonna get the Lord, you're gonna have to pass through us. That Hurricane Dance is gonna be pulled out. Look at Kaja just pulling out Finesse Lex out of the equation just so that no further damage would be dealt. That's still gonna be a man down on the side of Execration. It's really looking good for Finesse Solid.
Yeah, Finesse Solid. Despite that pull-in, like you mentioned, the damage still went through the engage from Lolita was there. Now mid lane tower will be the next thing here for Finesse Solid. 4 members strong. I don't think Ian can defend that on his own. Just gonna be a free tower now.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Lord almost gets caught there, but look at just the CCs that Finesse Solid has. That Numenon Blast almost connects onto 3 people there, onto Execration. But this is still a lot of crowd control from Finesse Solid. They're going in for the kills, trying to go for another kill, but nice choice to go for the Divine Judgments towards the turret to get one down. So immediately that's a 1-4-3 trade, and it evens up the scoreboard. But while that's happening, Levy is just pushing up the top lane.
Execration gonna try to look for more kills here. Dale is in a bit of trouble. I think they can definitely take him down. There's a lot of people on the side of Execration. So a lot of kills go over to their side. Finally 6-6 in the kill score. The only thing Finesse Solid gets off of that is that tower in the top lane.
It's adding pressure towards the top lane, but you know, this is what I'm saying. This was what we were talking about earlier on. Just the fact that Finesse Solid has more CCs, Execration needs to play it smart and just get rid of Lolita, get rid of Akai. That's the only way that they can engage freely without any consequences. And that's what they did. But they are extremely lacking in CCs as well. It's only Lord. If he misses his Divine Judgment, it's all up to Dian. Sure, he can knock up multiple people at the same time, but they need to be bunched up together. And that's hard to do with this lineup in Finesse Solid.
Yeah, and you know, now look at that gold difference. It's looking very even in my experience as well, but I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. It's 9 minutes into the game, even in kills, fairly even in gold. Towers as well, but you know, it feels like next big team fight really swings the game in one team's favor.
Yeah, just one major team fight is all they need here for both of these teams. I will completely agree with you on that. The only issue here is that Finesse Solid can afford to split up. Execration, they cannot. But as I say that, we get an easy kill there over to the bottom lane. Boo's gonna be picked off here. That Wave the Dragon's gonna connect onto Boo. This is not a lot of damage. Carl is gonna be there to deter Execration from continuing on with that kill. And we do see a rotation from the top lane. Levy and Lex looking for openings here.
You're not gonna find the openings yet. Only that one pick off though onto Dale. Now Lard, he wants to pull somebody in. You can see he wants to
Dark
go for
Knight
the
Falls
engage.
though. There goes the engagement. The silence is gonna connect onto Boo. Boo won't be able to deal a lot of damage there. He needs to connect the Numenon Blast if he wants to succeed. But look at the damage dealt by Carl onto Lard. It's more than enough. Zapnu finally out of the equation here. Finesse Solid pushing towards Execration here. Dia might be next in line. Not really, but Carl just consistently dealing a lot of damage is more than enough to deter Execration from pursuing any more kills.
Okay, I think that will mean Finesse Solid has priority over this Lord now. Does Execration go to challenges? It is still 4v5, you know. Where's Engage? Fight with multiple fronts here.
Yeah, multiple fronts indeed, and Finesse Solid just zoning out Execration. That Numenon Blast connects onto 2 people, and it's gonna be the playmakers from Execration as well. This is gonna be an easy Lord, but DN is still up. He can still steal this. He can go for the G Kundo, goes for the Shun Po, knock everybody off, but Finesse Solid is not gonna give them that easy Lord take, that Lord steal, I mean.
Yeah, Finesse Solid not gonna commit for that now. Zapney has to run out here, is burning down, but seems like Execration just do enough to force Finesse Solid off of that Lord. After that big play being made there by Boo, you know, I feel like Finesse Solid could have broken open the game there, but Execration, they hold on.
Zapnu was just really lucky that he was able to get the Dark Knight Falls just in time so that he can escape. If he wasn't able to escape, that would have been a complete Lord take by the side of Finesse Solid.
Yeah, you know, Execration is applying the right amount of pressure to force Finesse Solid away from that objective now. Things are going to reset here. Both teams still trying to fight a big team fight to really secure that objective, which would break this game wide open.
Man, it's only a matter of time before we see another big team fight, specifically on the bottom jungle of Execration. Finesse Solid is just making sure that their presence is felt everywhere at the same time. Just there's a big, I'd say it's a big factor in terms of psychological warfare.
Oh, he's gonna try to go for a jump in. He's just gonna jump away fairly easily. You know, I'm waiting for Execration to use the Kaji, you know, try to have Lard pull somebody back. That's what has been giving them success during these previous fights. You know, isolating a target now. Speaking of isolated targets, that is not where Pakbet wants to be. That is one of the main damage threats on the side of Execration. Getting picked off.
Oh man, speaking of being picked off, Levy is actually in danger of being picked off here, but he actually created space for Finesse Solid to try to secure the Lord, but they did not capitalize on the fact that Execration was converging towards the top lane. Now Execration is looking for a steal here. Finesse Solid doing what they can to go for a defense here. Budo is zoning everybody out. She does have the Numenon Blast, and she's not gonna, Lolita's not gonna pop it just yet.
And once again, Execration, they forced Finesse Solid off of that Lord. Finesse Solid is showing a lot of hesitation here, not wanting to commit. But then again, that thing wasn't low at all. You don't want to risk the steal happening, because that will mean Execration would come out on top here. Now Lex needs to get out, doesn't have the support of his team. He sees a lot of members of Execration. We've seen Lex do this a lot, you know, look for these flanks, try and find a big engage for his team. And
yeah, he's looking for the flanks there. He knows that Execration is gonna come from the mid side of the game. He just needs to play from behind, because as soon as he pops the Hurricane Dance, Lolita's gonna be able to pop the Numenon Blast without any problems whatsoever. But Lexi being caught here might be detrimental for Finesse Solid. The Dark Knight Falls is gonna connect. The Numenon Blast is being charged up. It does connect onto DN, but not onto the primary damage dealers here of Execration. And a lot of fight is happening left and right. And it's just a dance here between Finesse Solid and Execration. No one really coming out on top, but Carl does get the first kill in that engagement. Dale gets another one, and it's on to Finesse Solid to secure this. Meanwhile, Hellcurt is just pushing over the middle lane, trying to get a reaction from Finesse Solid, but not gonna happen anytime soon.
yeah, the reaction will be Lex defending that, but the Lord will go over to Finesse Solid. And you know, Execration, the fact that they don't have a very reliable front line, I feel like just allows Finesse Solid to go for these damage dealers. The very squishy members of Execration were just left exposed. And, you know, that led to Finesse Solid winning that team fight.
Yeah, it was only Zapnu alive, and Zapnu was in no position to go for steals whatsoever. Meanwhile, 15 minutes into the game, we are seeing what Finesse Solid was like during game number 2. Where they're not able to post up something to, you know, brute force their way into the base and try to force a last stand from Execration. We're not seeing that happen so far, because Hellcurt is just applying pressure everywhere at the same time, just side split pushing the lanes.
Yeah, and I think the proper decision here for Finesse Solid would just go for the dive. They know the Hellcurt won't be part of that fight if they successfully catch out one of the damage dealers of Execration. If they're able to successfully execute their combo, I feel like they can go for a big dive here in pressure as well. But the Hellcurt, he's stuck around here. Where is he gonna go?
Oh.
He's gonna get found out.
Booth spots him out, does go for the silence, and Zapnu is going to be the main target here, but Execration is going to be there to back him up because they know that they need to keep him alive, but that Numenal Blast is going to stun him, and this is going to be an engagement that Finesse Solid has to lose in order for Execration to win out, and they're just looking really, really dominant here in this top lane. Hellcurt is out of the equation. They can push out the lanes. They can brute force their way towards the core. It's only a matter of time, but Finesse Solid is kind of hesitating here. They're just waiting for the minions to shove up.
Yeah, with Hellcurt off the map, there's no more annoying split pusher to deal with here. For Finesse Solid, they can definitely break open the base here. These tier 3 towers look very, very nice for Finesse Solid. The first one will go down. Mid lane, not long for this world. Just gonna get melted by Finesse Solid. So much control. They're gonna just show their respect here. Just gonna rotate, do it systematically, and go towards the bottom half.
Yeah, there's 100 seconds before the Lord spawns. They can shove up the bottom lane, apply more pressure towards the base of Execration. Now, in terms of resetting this, Execration needs to win out a lot of engagements. Possibly wipe out Finesse Solid 2 times in a row, get the Lord, and just brute force their way towards the middle lane. That's the only way the Execration can bounce back from this.
Does Execration have it in them? Can they find that pick off, that pull in? Lard still has that playmaking potential available now. Zapnu, he's gonna get caught.
Look at that. Look at immediately half HP onto that Hellcurt, and Hellcurt dropping dangerously low on HP. Boo's gonna be there to spot him out. That Numenal Blast is gonna not connect, but that's gonna be a kill for Carl. And Pakbet is gonna fall down as well. They are overstaying their welcome. That's immediately a double kill for Carl, and they are gonna march their way towards the top lane. I think this is it, Chisto.
Yeah, I know, Matt. That should be the end of the game here. Zapnu and Pakbet, they faltered in the end. Base is exposed. I feel like this should be the easiest push of Finesse Solid's life.
This is going to be a victory for Finesse Solid. It's not going to be a resounding victory, but a victory nonetheless. A bottom turret is being pressured here, and I think they are going to go for an engagement here. Look at the damage being dealt onto Jeff Cutie forever. That Numenal Blast is going to connect, and he's going to go down. Dian is going to be alive, and he's going to try what he can to defend this, but Finesse Solid is focusing all of their attention toward the core, but Execration is still doing what they can to defend this. But Lord is going to fall down. The Dark Knight falls is going to be committed there as soon as Zapnu gets back online. But they don't have enough damage, not enough CC. Zapnu dies immediately. Pakbet is the next target here. That core is gonna go down, and that's gonna be it. Finesse Solid going 2-1. Look at the dabs. Look at the dabs from the entire Finesse Solid roster.
The celebration showing you how much the win means to them. That's great to see from Finesse Solid.
That one guy that's just, hey, let me
He's
just
not
log
taking
out.
the dabs.
Log out. Let me just log out real quick. But man, that was a well-fought matchup there between Finesse Solid and Execration. What are your takeaways here?
I'd say that's a well-deserved 2-1 over Execration. It was a very close series though. You know, that extended game 3, I feel like Execration had their moments. It's just those pickoffs onto Zapnu, you know, the moment that the Hellcurt was off the map, it was very easy for Finesse Solid to push forward because they didn't have to worry about the split push happening. And, you know, once he did give up his life, it was just super easy pickings for Finesse Solid.
Yeah, I mean, Execration had the right mindset. They needed Hellcurt, they needed Zapnu on that Hellcurt to go for the split pushes and try to alleviate the pressure that Finesse Solid was applying. The thing was, Finesse Solid just had the right mindset. Yeah, sure, Thamus, go back, try to hunt Zapnu down. They do, but they were still able to constantly apply pressure where Execration wasn't able to step out of the base at all. It was only Zapnu because of the Dark Knight Falls, because of his mobility. But Finesse Solid just coming out on top.